Hello. How's it already one person watching? How's that possible? Like I just turned it on. It's crazy. Whoever that person is. They need a hobby. I suggest making monsters.
I think it was me.
It was you?
Cobwebs and candlesticks, damn it. Why? Wow. Oh, it says I'm in a parking lot. 24 people, 31 people watching.
No, we just started. Can't be.
Okay,
Impossible. Wife is wrong.
I see.
Hi, everybody. I'm just getting our comments going like I always do.
Cobwebs and candlesticks, hope you are feeling well.
I am feeling well, thank you.
No, I was saying to him, I
Oh.
think he's feeling well.
My wife hopes you feel well. He can probably hear you. What?
Beast Man!
Yeah, I'm wearing my Beast Man shirt.
35 people.
All right.
Show me the shark. I've been busy. I haven't been able to watch lately.
So, just so you guys don't think like I go eat at Whataburger every day, I bet this cup is a week and a half old.
Gross.
I cleaned it out, but I reuse cups. You know, some people have like a favorite fork or spoon or whatever. Well, I'm that person. I have a favorite beverage cup, which is actually a Quick Trip extra large cup, which holds 44 ounces. Pretty awesome. All right. For those of you who haven't seen the shark, see the shark. Boom, 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 boom. Look, it's a shark. It's a shark. The eye holes are right in there, so when you're normal, you can see through the teeth, but you're enough in shadow where they probably won't see your eyes very well. Not that, this is one of those. This mask is going to be kind of a stretch of someone's how much they're willing to push realism.
My wife uses a Sonic cup forever before they
Yeah, use that cup.
I reuse McDonald's cups. They fit perfectly in a Yeti tumbler. Ooh.
But then it holds less. Like, I don't have a Yeti tumbler because they're just so tiny. 20 ounces of liquid is enough to make me angry. That's it.
Shark mask is one of my favorite things you create.
Well, thank you. All right. It's a shark. This is the foam one. It's going to get a little more foam today. I wanted this to really firm up before we did that, so I'm going to do that now. Get this out of here. I'm working on this guy. You don't worry about him.
I have a favorite screwdriver. I can't live without.
You mean like vodka and orange juice screwdriver or a tool?
I think it's cool.
Probably a tool.
I think it's a tool. Receipt from the post office and send out those directly.
Okay. The bear hasn't really gotten any more sculpting. I'm probably going to work on him maybe tomorrow night. Got some lawn stuff to do tomorrow. And have some pouring to do because blanks are very popular right now. What bear? Oh, yeah, someone asked about the bear.
Need plague mask for the Christmas. I've been catching up on all of your videos, right?
You have?
Thank you so much. Got my grave digger. Shannon, now I'm going to have to do something really special with my guests, Gary and Larry and the skeletons. They are awesome.
Everyone keeps naming their little
Michelle.
skeleton toys.
Those skeletons, they're like our little love gift we're sending out this year, man. We're having fun with them. It's like you have a little outfit for them, but then like now people want to dress up their own stuff. So I'm glad you like your little skeletons.
Yeah.
May they bring you much joy.
Yeah, skeleton joy. It's the best kind of joy.
Shark mask looks awesome. I can't help but that damn baby shark song's in my head. Stop the madness. Mike's on it.
Well, I did kind of do a little bit to the tune of it. Could be my fault. I'll allow you to blame me.
The wrong thing about a shark mask is sexy. Okay, it's wrong. It's still sexy in a shark sort of way.
Shark masks are very slimming. So, while my shark souffle is rising, I'm going to set it off to the side. Yeah, sharks have sleek lines. You can call a shark sexy. That's fine. This guy needs some trimming. This table needs some cleaning. How do we clean tables? We push all of it to a corner of the table we're not using.
But tables are going to get
The tables are going to get a facelift.
face.
I have new tile board for the tops of them.
Can't wait to get my legs. Renee, she ordered yesterday. Thanks, everybody. It's very good to be home.
That's the new mask. It's right there. It's still covered up. I have not messed with it really. Okay.
59 people watching. 7.
59.
Amazing.
Better do something fun.
Yeah. Some people have fake geese on their porch. Some have skeletons. We're having a lot of fun with little surprises, putting it back. Cobwebs and candlesticks. 2 years I've writing. I was told don't keep latex masks on foam heads. If I wrap the foam in plastic, will that be okay?
Yeah, it's fine. And really, there's not a lot of evidence to support that foam heads are bad for latex masks. There's just not a lot of evidence for it. A lot of people say that, but I have pulled latex masks that were on foam heads for 10 years, and no damage. So I think UV light is a much bigger problem for them. Honey, who was the second person who ordered a shark mask?
Brian Page.
Brian Page.
First one goes to Cobwebs. Second goes to...
This one is going to be for Brian Page.
Are we voting on the bear name? Sorry, I'm late.
We're not voting on the bear name yet. We'll probably vote on the bear name next time I'm working on the bear.
Hey, Alan's been working on my Jaws diorama. Ready
Cool.
to do a paint up of yours. This miniature painting is almost furs. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, well, miniature sculpting is really hard for me. I have a hard time with it. I like to sculpt in life size. What are folks talking about, White?
They're saying hello to each other. They're excited about their ideas and what they're going to do with their purchases when they get them. And they like their skeletons. And the little surprises we're putting in packages. Asking about the bear, excited about the shark.
When Shannon says surprises that we are putting in packages, she means her.
You know what? That's true, but you continue to find, as you are doing this mass cleaning you're doing,
Well,
You
that's
keep
true.
finding lots of little treasures, and you
Yes.
just give them to me, and I'm going to put them in the packages for people to enjoy. So, you keep giving me this cool stuff, and people are having fun with it. Mike's Haunted Woodworks. What's up with the animal sculpts lately? I'm used to Krampus and other monsters.
Yeah, it's a little weird. There were monsters on the table the other night, but everybody voted for bear. It was either bear or merman. I think were the two big finalists. Plant creature was a dud. Nobody wanted a plant creature. And what was the fourth one?
Merman?
No, merman, plant creature, bear. Oh, an ape, like a simian. A monkey monster. That would have been fun to do. But I only give you guys choices that I either need to make or want to make.
How many groups did you end up unfollowing?
I'm now down to 77 groups, and I got rid of about 40, I think.
Looking thinner and thinner, buddy. Great job.
And I'm trying. I don't know if it's easier or harder because I'm at home all the time.
It's easier. Thanks, Alan, for inspiring me to try sculpting. That was Rodney Pope.
That's awesome. Yeah, Rodney actually sculpted a pretty darn good ear.
And
Ears are a bear. No,
Rodney's,
bear.
his little family's on his way.
Oh, good.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you like it, Michelle. I'm having fun. I'm having fun putting surprises in there. I don't know what you're gonna get. We're coming up. We'll say this: cobwebs and candlesticks. We've got something very special for you.
You?
We do.
Hey, great.
I love all the cool faces in the background. Looking forward to my order. Lisa ordered the ghost mask.
That's right.
Hello, Chad Smith. Hello, Paul Rhodes.
Hi, everybody. It's my first time cutting breathing holes in the shark mask.
Is this a great white color scheme?
There's actually one image that was in my gallery that I really liked, and I think it's kind of great white. It might be a bull shark, but there's almost a Hamon line on it where it's from white to gray. It was just a beautiful color scheme, and I think that'll add a lot of intensity and drama if that color scheme change happens right around in here. I'm gonna wish I had more shark to paint. It should be a fairly simple paint job. See how the breathing is now. Breathing is pretty good. I think you can put breathing holes right there. But when, you know,
Red carpet knife you use for cutting foam. I want to try.
oh, it's a good knife. The Roberts carpet knife.
Lockhart is here working with us too. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
Hooray!
They're gonna pick up their grave digger costume, full costume. Hi, Hugo. Boris and his buddies are
They just ran outside.
they have been nuts today.
Yes, that they have. All right, nice clean pull. It's good.
So probably the Candlesticks is curious about his purchase of packaging. He says, box art, Wolfman killing the Gill Man.
That happens all the time.
Thank you. Plastic Ninja's very special box art was a kit. Now that you are on mine and Tiffany's sleep schedule, we need to come over and get some work done. You're not scared of me like everyone else is. right, Mike. He's not scared of me.
Yeah, Shannon's pretty dang essential.
Alan, what is the stand you use for your camera? Or is it a phone or a GoPro?
My camera is a phone. All right. Now listen. Judge not, lest ye be judged. I'm going to take this off of here, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. And in your head, you're all going to hear Elvis singing. And he's going to be singing, "In the ghetto, in the ghetto," with backup singers. Because this looks pretty ghetto, but it gets the job done, all right? Okay. So this is my tripod. The tripod is, of course, covered in clay and plaster, as you would expect. The brand is a Manfrotto. It's got a good height to it, and I have jerry-rigged onto it with electrical tape this charger, so that way when I'm working I can plug in a heat gun or glue gun from the charger, and it's got a USB on the brick to charge my phone while it's on here. That's what I use. What I like about this type of setup, this Manfrotto rig, is it's very adjustable up here. It's not the normal type of adjustment. So there you go. We were about to strap a shark. Strap a shark.
Right now, there's lots being said, but it's not to you.
They're not talking to me?
No, everybody's talking to each other, which is pretty awesome.
Okay. I'm down. That's fine.
Is Alan's t-shirt telling us what's coming up after the bear?
Hey man, he's on the list, alright? He's on the list. I don't have control over whether or not you pick him. All I can do is offer you guys good choices.
Oh, we found their tennis ball.
Tennis ball's out. It's on.
Tennis ball, the new favorite toy. Tell them what they came proudly out of the shop with yesterday.
So,
You just let them have it.
I have a lot of various costume pieces in the other room, and Bella snuck in the other room and stole out of the tub my coonskin hat that I wear for a certain character. It's a backup coonskin hat. It's not even my only coonskin hat. It was a backup, and she was so happy to have it.
So proud.
She hid it from me by putting it under her and went out the dog door. When they go out the dog door, I know they've got something they don't want me to take away from them. So I went out and I watched them, and all three of them were happily playing with this coonskin hat. I just let them have it. And today, while I was mowing the lawn in the backyard, it scared the hell out of me. Because they left it out in the woods.
Except they left in the woods, almost destroyed your building.
Yes.
For sure.
Damn short stuff. All right.
When making a silicone mold, how much silicone do you need to cast, say, a square?
One more time with that one.
When casting a silicone mold, how much silicone do you need to cast, say, a skull?
Okay, when you say cast means to produce one. I am casting a mask when I put it in a latex, in a plaster mold. I'm casting a mask. I'm making one. So do you mean to mold a skull or to make a silicone skull? I need to clarify that before I answer.
It says to make the mold.
Okay, to make the mold. I would probably get like a 2-pound kit. Is what I would probably get. Bitty Mold Supply is who I recommend. That's where I get my silicone from. I would get a Plat Gel 25 is what I would get.
How do I keep a snarl from looking happy? Make it look sensitive. Brows are furrowed. It is done in the wrinkles and is it done in the wrinkles and the addition of teeth?
Teeth really help. And what you're asking is an age-old sculpting question. Because there's actually very little difference between a grimace and a smile. So that's something that just has to be worked out, sculpt to sculpt. I'm figuring out where the straps go.
Alan, did you get the bear done? Did.
I have not gotten the bear done.
Hey, Scott, thank you for the bitty.
I am inherently lazy, so I have not worked on the bear. I've worked on other projects.
You are many things. Lazy as hell.
Okay. Here's my super complicated strapping process. I have a mask. I made dots where the double cap rivets go. In the dot, I poked a hole.
Just got done doing a couple of corpse head hunter steps.
These are 9-inch elastic straps. These are 1/2 inch. I'm gonna move up to 3/4 inch here soon. As soon as I'm out of 1/2 inch, I did buy the 3/4 inch and it's here. And I squeeze my double cap rivets down with pliers. I'm gonna do both sides. All that shows on the outside of the mask is that little bit right there. Dink. That's it. And I have two. I think that kind of takes the pressure off of if there was just one strap.
If the phone you use in the Shark, is it like great stuff?
It is like great stuff in that it comes in a can. It is chemically very different than great stuff.
You should make a sea monster mask.
I should. Who is that?
James Knight.
James! Me and James were talking on Facebook Messenger about making a sea monster mask. And I tried to make Merman the other day, but Cobwebs and Candlesticks really wanted that bear. So
He's not even on to defend himself.
yeah, he really wanted the bear. So that's what I had to go with.
Are you getting away from Velcro for straps?
Yes, I am. I'm doing the elastic now. I'm finding it's just a little more comfortable.
I bet a lot of tiki collectors would love the mask. Maybe a pufferfish. That's fun.
Pufferfish. All I can think of is how many air bubbles would be in that mold. You know, with all the spines and stuff. Ooh.
Hello, big dog.
Unless you added the spines after. And I may need to adjust these straps, but the way to do that is actually very easy. Because I put them pretty far towards the back, and this is kind of a deep mask.
I see a little silhouette of a Shannon.
She's there somewhere. Scalamouche, Scalamouche.
Will you do the fandango? That's exactly what he said. That's Ross.
If I had to guess, I would say that these will be a little loose, but I don't know yet.
Love the yellow mannequin. Did you make that?
No, that is from Asylum Props, Richard Teachout. All the ones I made are plaster. That one is like a urethane with foam in it. Okay. That's actually pretty good.
I wonder if you could do a moray eel and incorporate the inner set of jaws.
I think I'm going to take the top strap tighter, but the bottom strap is perfect. The top strap, I want it to be tighter.
Catch that from Dr. Eel.
No.
I wonder if you could do a moray eel and incorporate the inner set of jaws.
See, I don't know that enough people know about the inner set of jaws. So while you could, I think the novelty, the stage 1 novelty, is going to be, oh, it's a moray eel mask on a head. And then having a stage 2 novelty often makes your customers think too hard.
I thought you were going on, I thought these were going on EVA helmets.
This one was ordered without an EVA foam helmet. They just wanted this part, and the actor's going to wear a hoodie, I think.
What are you thinking about doing for the back of the head in the costume? A hood?
This actor is going to wear a hoodie. When I do them, it'll be full head because I'm going to put it on a foam helmet. I have yet to be able to finish a shark the way I want to, but eventually I'll get there.
What do you get the rivets?
Tandy leather normally. These are double cap rivets.
Hey, Anna ordered some of the fun fur. Thanks for the tip.
No problem.
Is clay you use wet M217?
Pretty much, yes. That's the easy answer. Yes. The hard answer is that I actually use the cheapest of the cheap. I just use water clay. I don't actually use wet clay, but it is an easier answer to just say yes to wet.
Larry Hughes.
Hey, Larry.
Larry had a birthday yesterday.
He did.
Yeah.
He's going to order a mask.
Hey, Larry Hughes. Happy belated birthday. We wish you happy birthday on Wednesday. And hope you got to see all the well wishes that came with it.
I was about to say, I wish I had a girlfriend as cool as your girlfriend, but my wife is here, so I probably shouldn't.
You should.
I shouldn't say that.
What the foam name did you use in the shark? What's the foam name you used?
Loctite foam. Loctite foam for gaps and cracks.
This says April birthdays are the best.
My wife would agree. And you can see that I'm just adding another strap instead of, if I don't want to, have the holes or whatever, 3 straps. It's fine. More secure.
I want to say thank you for all the birthday wishes. Sorry I was feeling ill and went to sleep. Thank you all, and I'm going to be ordering a Gravedigger mask.
Wow, awesome.
What percent of your work is for your own inventory stock versus commission?
Right now, 0. But I don't, sometimes I make stuff for dark hour, but I don't collect, If I want a mask for me, then I'll make one for me. But I'm not a big collector. It'd be kind of weird to collect my own masks. I don't know, I think that's weird. Okay, that is much more secure. Good. It's me. It's me. So let's get a base coat on this. Let's find a way to. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll put it on the one that they call. Who's the actor who played Hellboy first? The one you guys call Ron Perlman. We'll put first, we'll strapping stuff away. Okay.
Mr. Hobson, I have 3 of your masks and I collect them, so that collectible to more people than you think. It's very easy.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I normally, in my brain, all my masks are just for work. You know, they're tools. It's like hammers. There are people who collect hammers. But I don't know that the companies who make hammers understand that.
Do your puppies go nuts when you have masks on?
Not really. They're actually pretty used to it. They did not like the inflatable gorilla costume. They were not a fan of that at all.
Or my hair in a towel.
Or her Shannon's hair, which puts her hair in a towel up on her head. They didn't like that. And there was a giant bee costume that they were not fans of either.
What size are those double caps?
Small? Yeah, they're small double cap rivets. Oh, I need to open this. So, here's something. The reason why my inks are on the door is sometimes they can settle, but if I keep them on the door, every time I go in and out of the room, they get shaken a little bit. So, instead of me having to mess with them on a shelf and remember to, move them a little every 3 days. I don't know how long ago we did that, but this is already hard, ready to go. But yeah, we will gut that up later.
The Wolfman behind you would be a good color for Beastman, Kent.
It's a good color for some of his hair, but I have to airbrush it with some orange him up. But if I make a Beastman, I'm going to do the original red Beastman, where he's like way red from the back of the arc.
I know you've been keeping some stuff back. When do you plan on debuting those items?
Well, some of it is because I have shipping problems. Shipping and everything was a different animal before, and then the world changed, and I have to make sure that every single component for the things that I make is available before I offer to sell it.
How hard is the mask to see out of?
Not at all. I mean, there's giant big eye holes.
I had 5 of your masks in Australia. No doubt I will add more.
See that? But you don't see the teeth because you don't see the eye holes because I'm looking through the teeth. It was kind of designed that way. If the actor puts their head just down a little bit, I can see everybody kind of from, chin up. As long as my eyeballs can't see their eyeballs, they can't even see the eye holes.
I bet Alan loves that his masks get actors, not put on a shelf for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a haunted house actor. That is, one of the things I am first. If the question was, hey Alan, would you rather act in the haunt tonight, or would you rather go back in the shop and make stuff? I'd probably act.
Would you recommend a flesh tone or black and white Gravedigger? This is Larry who's giving Gravedigger from
I haven't had a chance to make a flesh tone Gravedigger yet, but I would love to.
Michael Glassner. I'm biased, but I like the black and white Gravedigger.
I like the black and white Gravedigger too. You know, I like it.
Lockhart, my pups hate masks. When will you make more Plague Doctor masks? I see they are out of stock.
There are very simple, the simple leather Plague Doctor masks that I had, I resell those. I don't make them, and that is an item that, you know, they have to get some touch-ups because they're not awesome when we get them. But that's one of those items that kind of fell away because shipping went to crud. There is like a moratorium on things that come out of Asia, and it's hard to get things in. As soon as I can.
7mm maybe, rivet size.
Well, I bet I have a measuring device. Traitorous eyeballs. Nine millimeter. They're 9mm.
I can't have a merman, beastman. OG beastman would do. That's Stacy. When I hear bee costume, I think of Chris Farley playing the girl in the bee costume from Blind Melon's No Way.
Okay.
I know you use Loctite foam to fill the sharpness. The question I have is a made and EVA foam head form and want to fill it with foam. What is the best way to keep it from warping?
Watch it. Do it and watch it. There's a. I have a video on it. It's the same exact way on foam filling a mask. Same exact thing. Do a little bit, watch it. Do a little bit, watch it. Don't try and fill it all the way up, or else you're going to have pressure happening that you can't control or monitor. So do a little bit at a time, and you'll be good.
I wear the mask but turn them into props. It's
Cool.
very cool design. I just got my 5 gallons of latex from Reynolds, and I can't wait to finish up my prefix and start new. But like I said, like you said, shipping was not nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. Shipping is hard out there for a shipper.
You should grow out the Rick Baker ponytail.
You know, I used to have long hair. I used to have a ponytail in that fashion.
I want a Plague Doctor mask to wear when I go to the grocery store. I've been waiting on my EVA floor mats from Harbor Freight for like 2 weeks now. Plastic engine.
Yeah. I mean, it's shipping anything right now is tough. Even things that we ship out, they're just taking longer than we thought they would.
Stacy says, watching with Greg, she says if he wasn't hot dad before, he is now with the glasses.
Enough out of you.
Wow, Alan, the t-shirt you're wearing fits a little more snugly, but it's really showing up how much weight you've lost.
Well, I could wear this shirt a while ago, but now I can.
I watched Plastic Ninja's review on the Gravedigger. It was awesome. It was awesome. That was fun.
I'm very happy with the Gravedigger mask. It's one of those things that went from execution to completion, well, from concept to execution cleanly. And the story behind that Gravedigger is that someone in June asked me to make it for them as an icon character. And they said, I want this Gravedigger, design it, and you know, here's some reference photos. So I did that, but they told Chad Savage, who is an artist, the same thing at the same time. And he can sketch faster than I can sculpt, mold, pour, pull, and paint. So I finished it, and I showed it to him. He said, that doesn't look anything like the drawing. I'm like, what drawing? He gave me some pictures to work from. And he just didn't tell me that Chad had, that he asked Chad to design the same icon character. So then I got to resculpt it. But my original is this one. So he has had success despite him being a technical failure. All right. And normally I use the big sprayer, but I'm just going to use the airbrush for this base coat.
Do you ever sit in quiet thought to critically think about ideas for sculpts, painting, creativity, etc.? It seems like you're never stuck on anything.
Whenever you see me build something, I have built it in my head already 3 or 4 times. And there are times when Shannon and I are talking and she'll say, where did you go? Because I'm just kind of staring off into the distance. And in my brain, I'm building something. I'm working on something. I'm figuring out a process. And I kind of treat making stuff like war. Those who hesitate die. So I don't hesitate a lot. You're correct. But it's making decisions. I'm very decisive.
I live in Denton. Who's better for shipping, Biddy or Reynolds?
I'm going to say that Biddy is better. I just like Biddy better. Biddy's a bit better.
I wish I could get creepy clown mask from you, but no money.
Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
that?
And I charge 3 times as much for clowns too. Like a lot of times a regular mask would be like $100, but if it's a clown mask, $300.
You might be talking about 20.
Oh, yeah. Well, there is a clown blank.
Where can I get the plaster to make the mold?
It depends on where you are, but get on the internet and look for ceramic supply stores near you, and find one within a 2 or 3 hour drive. That's the best place to get plaster.
You should wear that shark mask while shopping for fishing tackle and Bass Pro.
Well, they do recommend wearing masks in public now. Actually, I kind of want to pair this up with the Gilman hands that I made. I think this could be a real fun costume.
Will you have pirate hats in the future?
Well, I have pirate hats in the future. We did have a couple pirate hats on the website, but we could put a few more hats together, I bet.
I tried to paint a latex foot to look realistic with the latex paint. It looks terrible. I'm convinced I have to use inks to make it look realistic.
No, you don't have to. You can just water it down. I mean, inks are good.
Alan, I think I will go with flesh tone Gravedigger, so my girlfriend will be setting up payment.
Hooray! All right. So this guy is here. I'm just going to take him in the other room and set him in front of a fan so he can dry faster. I got to get this chop. I missed it. It's jowl.
Ezekiel says, staring off into the distance, mid-conversation with the wife can be dangerous.
When I used to have a real big bushy beard when I used to play Carl a lot, and like it was a little ridiculously bad, my beard, and hang on. And we would be in like a restaurant, and I would just sit and stare off into space and think about something, and she would say that I was Rasputining because my eyes would go a little wild and my beard looked wild. Yeah, maybe an eye would twitch. Like I go deep when I think about stuff.
He goes away.
So this foam here, hard. It's ready. And great stuff. It's not that fast.
That Gravedigger could paint up to a nasty clown.
It could.
I'd love to see you make a rat mask.
I could just show you one of the rat masks that I have made.
Spastic Plug says, I'm gonna wear my Halloween mask in public now. Somebody stop me.
If whoever acted up the rat mask goes to my personal Facebook page, I have a folder called Sculpts, SCULPTS, in photos. And in there there's several rat masks that I have made.
Thank you so much for sharing your art at this time.
No problem. I'd be in the shop working anyway. I might as well hang out with some folks.
Wow, with your paint.
Close that door. That's why I had that door closed. One of these days I'm going to buy one of those quiet Harbor Freight compressors.
With the paint, the shark is starting to look like my ex-wife's divorce attorney.
Here come the lawyer jokes.
Have you ever tried Clear Flex Seal as a sealant?
I have not. But I'll tell you that I'm scared of it. Because it has more propellant in it. And I think that would eat down the latex over time. For the people who are using Clear Flex Seal, I want to see their mask in a year. Props like this, in the past, I had just spray painted black. It's not going to flex, it's foam filled. But the propellant in the spray paint eats the latex. Not right away, but about a year and a half down the road, it starts falling apart.
Does your airbrush DVD cover painting masks also, or just makeup?
It's just makeup. But I mean, a lot of those things will apply.
My wife says Disneyland when I drift off. It goes down the rabbit hole. That's Ezekiel.
Yeah, just sometimes my brain processes things and it uses all the RAM that my body has, and my body just kind of shuts down a little bit.
The yellow bus today looks like he's not having it.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Is that a different shark mask? Had to go for a second.
Yes, this is a foam-filled prop, and the other one is actually a masky mask.
As soon as I get paid from a welding job I did before this stupid virus, I'm gonna buy the Glen Strange monster.
Fun.
Seems like the clear flex seal flakes off, unlike the black.
Well, I use the black Flex Seal on EVA foam helmets. And it's fine on EVA foam because EVA foam is more chemically resistant.
Do you ever use any type of sealant or varnish?
Yes.
Maybe not on masks, but maybe props.
Yes, I do. Liquitex Gloss Varnish. There you go. I do.
The other guy looks over it, but all the other masks are really interesting. That's a lot of eyes watching him.
It is. How many people are on the
97.
97? This guy, I'm going to pull out a heat gun and kind of dry a little bit more. He got a little way done.
I know you fish as a hobby, but is there anything you totally shut haunting out of your mind?
No.
Any time you shut haunting out of your mind?
Often when I'm fishing, I only think about fishing, and that's nice. But normally, no. There's always things happening.
Can you run your Liquitex through an airbrush without cutting it?
Yep. Yep.
The shark mask was awesome with some nurnings hanging from them like meat.
You mean like have a shrimp hanging out of his mouth?
Do you have a preferred gloss to put on latex masks for things like eyes or animal noses?
Normally it's 5-minute epoxy. DevCon 5-minute epoxy. But I normally just buy the Harbor Freight epoxy because it's just as good, but it's ghetto cheap.
You got here a little late today. The shark mask is the bomb.
Why, thank you.
The hamsters are always running around the wheel.
Yes. There's always a hamster running. There's also times when I go to sleep and only part of my brain shuts down to go to sleep. And then my wife has to convince me that I'm sleeping because I really was thinking through something.
We'll have full-on conversations and then I'll wait.
Yeah, we can have a full-on conversation. I'll answer back with rational answers because that part of my brain isn't sleeping right now.
And I'll wait. You should make shrimp hands to go with the mask.
I got a shrimp hand for you.
I'm thinking
But
about
there's only one finger on it.
making a full body
Gibbering Mouther.
suit with mouth tentacle sleeves. Do you have any recommendations on materials that will tear against that too weirdly at the joints?
I would use couch foam on the inside, half-inch couch foam, with a skin on the outside of it. So if it does kink, it ends up not, the spandex on the outside will save the kink from showing. Never let them see your kink.
Cool Beastman shirt. Trivia question. He-Man toys were based on what previous popular 70s toy line? He-Man toys were based on what previous popular 70s toy line? Now this has happened in Mojo.
It sounds like what he wants the answer to be is Safari Jim, because that is what Mattel made, the Big Jim action figures. That's what Battle Cat is, the tiger from that toy line, but it's not based off of that toy line. They did steal some pieces because Mattel made both of them. Yeah, probably the big gym, Safari gym toys. Because it wasn't really based off of another toy line.
Master Allen, would it be disrespectful to ask for your autograph on the masks we are going tonight?
Not in the least. I. It's very interesting to me that people want me to autograph and sign things. Again, I've never even felt like I was an artist because I feel like I'm a tool maker. You know, I'm making people be successful haunt actors or monsters or whatever. And YouTube highlights the art of it, I guess. But yeah, absolutely I would. I'd be happy to.
Sweet, Alan's the man. That's happening Mojo. Pleased with your answer. It was from Conan. Someone else said this.
It wasn't inspired. It wasn't in. It wasn't inspired by. Mattel almost bought the rights to make Conan toys, and then they realized, wait, it's going to be an R movie, so the kids couldn't even buy the toys, so they passed up on it. They didn't do it. But you know how it goes. All
I
right.
like the Raven skull mask. Alan, what did you use for the green gremlin big-eyed monster on Facebook?
What do you mean? What did I use? What do you mean? It's a latex mask,
Horror Beauty.
and I call that a chupacabra. That is my chupacabra mask.
Cobwebs made it back.
Sure is a dark shark. Now I have to move over here. I gotta pull up some reference.
Drinking ginger Sprite. Try it. It's very good.
As soon as I'm on keto right now, so I'm not drinking sugar. So if they have a diet ginger Sprite, I would love it. Let's see if I can find the image that I want by just typing in shark. Boom, there it is. Okay, so the white on the shark is happening up here, and then it comes down kind of under the eye, and I love that like broken line that it is. So, okay.
Okay, Horror Beauty, this is about the mask. Alan, it looked like it was inserted. It did not look like latex. That is why I asked. It was so shiny, too. Do you still have the mask?
Oh, the eyes. I actually mixed. It was not inserted. It was a painted eye, and it was chrome spray paint with red ink over top. Chrome spray paint that I sprayed onto the table to get the accelerant out, and then I painted the eye with it. And then when that dried, I hit it with red ink, just a light misting of it, so that you still had the chromeness, and you had the chromeness, and you had the red also. So there you go. That's how I did it.
They have a 0 ginger Sprite.
Oh, interesting. I would try that. I ain't sure.
And a Moscow Mule.
Alexa, add Ginger Sprite Zero to my shopping list.
The Headhunter doll in
Ginger Sprite Zero added to your shopping list.
the Headhunter doll in Trilogy of Terror might work in your pirate underwater haunt. That was my first horror movie as a kid. Got me hooked.
One of our students at Monster Camp made a version of that. And it turned out well.
My favorite shark is a great white. I hope to go cage diving with someone one day. Me too.
Are you going to punch it?
Does everyone
Punch that shark.
Does everyone else have a baby shark in their head right now? Alan, I just received 20 pounds of magic sculpt. I was sold on it after seeing you use it once. Not even positive what I'm going to use it for just yet.
It's
just
great.
know I needed it.
It's great. I love it. I do that too. It's a wonderful material. I've redone like mannequin heads and things, and you can take magic sculpt right on top of a foam wig head and make a face, and then it hardens up, and it's good stuff.
Rob O'Brien says, well, guess I'll have to try it too, says ALEXA. Did you spray out the accelerant of the chrome paint because it might eat the latex or for another reason?
It's not good on the latex. The paint is fine, but the propellant that it evaporates pretty rapidly, but it will attack. And then when it's mixed in, you lose a lot of it when you transfer from spraying it out and then putting it on the mask. You lose a good bit of that propellant. Okay, here we go. First bit of color. And I will try to avoid getting the gray on the eye of the shark. Now I'm going to airbrush it black anyway, so because the airbrush ink is just a lot shinier.
Have you ever sculpted maquettes? If so, what were they for?
I haven't, because I don't have the use for them. I sculpted things that were maquette sized, but they were little monsters I was going to use in a show.
Moltow makes a good chrome paint. Adam Savage uses it a lot.
They do. They do make a good chrome paint.
104 people are watching.
Cool. And I like that I'm still getting some of the texture from the sculpture on here as we paint. That is showing up. I mean, this is a very few color paint job, so interesting. And dry brushing, that's why I did that black underneath. Or to keep that as a bit of depth for the color. Any shark questions? Any questions?
No, they're talking about shipping for latex, where they're getting their supplies, how much shipping is in different places. Talking to each other. That makes the shark, that texture makes the shark look very battle-worn. The accents it nicely.
That is the hope.
Big Dog says I have a skull mask idea to do this weekend. I might do a pumpkin head-ish.
Cool.
Gotta add some guts and stuff to the mouth.
You're obsessed. So we are painting a shark mask that I sculpted. When did I sculpt this, honey? 2 weeks ago? A week ago?
Almost two.
Almost 2 weeks ago. I sculpted this. We made the mold of it.
No, you sculpted it Monday night, 5 days ago.
Did I sculpt the bear?
That was Wednesday. No, I think you did the shark last week, but it hadn't been 2 weeks.
Okay. We make so many things, we forget when we made them.
Shark skin is just millions of tiny backward-facing hooks.
Yeah. Sharks are tough. And I like this. I think that might be a little light in color though. I'm gonna wait and get the white on the bottom and we'll find out.
Shark was last week. Thank you, Jane. I really like the shark. It might be cool backbone to be mounted as a taxidermy piece.
Well, I'm painting one that is foamed here shortly.
I'm going to have to order one of those sharks foam filled for my nephew. He loves sharks.
Well, you could get him one.
When making a silicone mold of a hand, what is the best way to cut the silicone for removal? I have done a foot and cut it straight and now have a seam issue getting it even in the mold.
I cut like a zigzag so it goes back together like a zipper. I find that's the best way to do it. Cut it like a zigzag and then it'll plop back in like a zipper.
Yeah, sharks are in the ray family, and they were used as primitive sandpaper. Also used as grip tape by sword makers in Japan for the hilt.
Yep. They did use shark skin, but they also used ray skin. Yeah. I have to mix up more white because I am almost out of white paint.
This is a community.
What?
Community.
It is a community.
And they're having such a conversation between they're sharing artwork and they're sharing websites.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who do YouTube and stuff who don't want anybody else to share links. I just find that weird.
But it's the economy. If I'm quiet, I'm not watching a kitten video.
They're just not talking to me.
They're not talking to you, but they are
Okay.
talking and having such conversation, and it's really awesome.
I have to trust you guys. I have to trust you that if you have a question, you will ask it.
Do you ever use stencils in your paint job? And if so, where do you get them?
Well, yes, I use stencils sometimes in my paint jobs, and I make them. I've used stencils for airbrush for a long time. They're wonderful, and I make them. I used to use a stencil cutter and heat. Now I use a laser cutter and a laser. So when mixing up latex mask paint, hopefully you guys caught and saw that I used just a quart can of latex house paint and interior flat. Poured some into here. I poured the same amount of distilled water into here. Put the water in first, and then the paint, and the latex goes in last. Why does the latex go in last? The latex goes in last because it's the thickest. So if you put it in first, it's going to coat the sides of the cup.
Where do you get your bottles?
The Webstaurant store. The Webstaurant store. They are 16-ounce squeeze bottles. Like for mustard and ketchup and condiments, I buy them like 12 or whatever at a time. No, I buy a case of 24 at a time.
I gotta get to Menards at Home Depot for latex paint samples by Zombie Snail, Scotland.
Heck yeah.
How do I get even castings with slosh casting method? Because every time I do it, it always gets thick on one side.
That's why I dwell. That's why I do dwelling technique as opposed to slush casting. It's hard to control your thickness. But that is from how does it drain? Where do you set it when it's draining? It's going to settle somewhere. You want to control that by having that be the point where things flow to when, yeah. I think I gave you enough info there. Okay, one more element to add.
Wes, I saw your zombie snail in the background of your unboxing video.
Yeah, sit on your table.
I love mine too. I love him. Please don't keep me in Menards.
Please don't what?
Kick me in Menards.
Oh. You know, the Wolfman has got Menards. Now I should have strained this latex before I put it in here. I bet it's fine. The hard part about white is I won't know if it's evenly mixed because every part of it is kind of white.
My zombie snail is falling apart, but I'm going to fix and upgrade him with Michael Lassiter's help.
You can rebuild it. You can make him better, snailier, slower than he was before. You have the technology. Because I put the water in first, the other stuff didn't stick to the edges. It poured in and it kind of, the water already kind of made a barrier against the sides. You can't tell that if this is white. Just, you'll have to trust me. Pretend I know what I'm doing. Great. Yeah, I will go ahead and do the white now. I was wondering about what I was going to do when, but it's time for white. Time for white. I know I've got to paint it.
Oh yeah, Alan, I found definite proof of that Godzilla would beat the Wolfman. Plastic Ninja.
What have you got? What terrible bit of fake news have you got now, Plastic Ninja?
Hello, Psycho Axeman.
Hello, sir. Shark Day.
For death of shark or bear, I'd rather be killed by Jason.
By what?
Jason.
Hooray. And you know what? If Jason showed up, I would also punch him. I'm an equal opportunity puncher. I like to punch large predators.
Legendary giant beast Wolfman versus Godzilla.
Okay, well that's not like the regular Wolfman. That is the giant Wolfman. That big white monstrosity that you're talking about. I don't see it.
A movie that was made but was scrapped.
Oh, I know. I know.
Do you use anything as an agitator inside your paintballs?
No, I don't. I'm a savage.
Ezekiel, okay, here we go. Plastic Ninja started up again. It'll be cool to see the shark mask when it's painted. If it's painted like it. My zombie snail is like one of my children. Cobwebs, I am with you. My zombie snail is...
For many, many
One of my
years, it
favorite
hung out
things.
right in front of the TV.
He's one of my favorite things in the world. I love him.
He lived on the floor in front of the TV.
He is in my office, and I love him.
Now he's in the office.
The last guy who punched Jason got his head thrown in a bin.
Jason takes Manhattan, first kill in Manhattan. The guy shadowboxing on the roof. But see, that guy should have uppercut. You don't haymaker Jason, you got to uppercut. His neck is weak, so you uppercut and his head might even come off because his neck is weak from all the times they've had a chain wrapped around his neck and thrown in the water. So
Godzilla could not beat the Rampage Wolfman, says Carolina Kiwi Creations.
that's true. That's true. In the game Rampage, Wolfman was he was the stuff.
Plastic
George, I think.
If Godzilla can stomp a giant legendary Wolfman, what chance does normal Wolfman have?
You see? You say that, but right now, the whole world is getting its butt kicked by a virus.
It looks like you're giving the shark a shade.
It does look that way.
Hello, weird kid.
Hello, weird kid.
What do you cover your work table with on top of the plywood?
It's a tile board type stuff, and I've actually got new covers already cut. They're all sitting over there. So this week, in the camera, this looks like a shark. It's getting there. So this week, probably maybe tomorrow, we'll see how life goes. But you will see all of these tables will look new and shiny.
Psycho Ass Man. Question. When I dry brush with the latex distilled water paint mix, it always clumps up on the mask.
Who asked that?
Psycho Ass Man. When I dry brush with the latex distilled water paint mix, it always clumps up on the mask.
It never should do that. Like, that shouldn't happen. Did you just watch me mix it? Because I just mixed this white, Psycho. Did you watch me mix it? Clumping up on the mask, no, I mean, it's smooth. And you don't live in like Arizona or anywhere super dry.
No.
I could see it drying, I mean, that's possible. But I'm trying to figure out why that might happen to you. I don't know. What kind of paint are you using as an ingredient? What kind of paint as an ingredient are you using?
Yeah, and guess who can get that virus? Mammals. Godzilla is a reptile. Checkmate. Hello, Amy.
Actually, having worked at Gatorland, reptiles are very virulent. I mean, they don't get infections and things. Not uncommon at all for one gator to have his arm ripped off by another gator, and no infection. It's like, well, crap, I have no arm now, and they just kind of live with it. But it's not a viral infection you have to worry about. What he has to worry about is all the damage that Godzilla's going to take while the Wolfman is going there and Macarena-ing inside of his aorta. And that's where the real problem will happen. I like this line that's happening.
Anyone have any ideas about protecting fog machines outside? Fall is our rain season in Michigan, and I've been wanting to use it outside, but I don't want to wreck it.
Put it in a Tupperware container, like a big storage bin. You put the storage bin, set it outside. You cut a hole for the fog machine to vent out of, so it stays in a Tupperware container the whole time, like a plastic storage bin. Put it inside of there. When it's operating, crack the lid so that the fan can get fresh air into it. Just build a little plastic case for it.
Scott said, Psycho Axeman, is this what you use? Paint mix, 1/3 distilled water, 1/3 latex house paint, 1/3 casting paint. He says, I've seen you do it before. Yeah, I always get little balls of pump interior house paint from Depot.
Are you really using distilled water? I don't know. When I send your order, honey, can you make a note to me to put a couple bottles of mask paint in for him? I'm going to send you some of what I mix up and tell me if it's doing the same thing. It shouldn't be, but tell me. What's happening in here? Let's go look at I think the inside of a shark's mouth. I think I can do that white too. Because the outside, it's painted.
Wolfman gets irritated inside of Godzilla.
Well, I bet he would be irritated.
Fog machine won't get too hot inside the bin.
That's why I said crack the lid while it's operational.
Got a storage bin from the dollar store, then covered in expanding foam. Looked awesome painted and covered my floodlights.
Yeah, I can see that.
I used Monster Maker latex, bottled distilled water. Cool, I'll give it a try. Thanks, Alan. Psycho.
Monster Maker latex. I don't use latex from Monster Makers. And you know what? People who get their latex mask paint also sometimes say that it clumps up. It may have to with their latex. But try what I send you, and let's see if we can find you a good, solid solution.
You know, he's irritated because Godzilla is radioactive.
He doesn't care. He's a wolf man.
It's
He
like-
regenerates.
Psycho says, interesting.
This is the mask version, honey. Who is this going to? Sean? Brian.
Brian Page is getting that for a run repair.
Yeah. Boy, this looks good painted.
Cobwebs is getting the original.
He's getting the one in there that's dry.
That's when you foam filled, like his steel pan.
Right.
Have you tried to make a pattern for a ram-style horn C-shape for EVA foam? I think it's going to be a bit difficult with the curving.
I've got one. I got a pattern. It's easy. It's sitting in my pattern drawer. Yeah, I mean, it's no more difficult than any other EVA foam patterning. Pattern, I mean.
Is radiation resistance a Canon Wolfman talent, says Psycho? That says plastic.
Well, if you go back to Monster Squad, then the police officer father shoved a stick of dynamite in Wolfman's pants and shoved him off of a 2-story building. He then exploded, and then all the parts came back together. The issue with radiation is that it quickly damages cells, but his cells regenerate at such a speed, you wouldn't even notice the damage. Which is, for the record, the same reason why the Incredible Hulk doesn't have any radiation damage. He regenerates the damage that is done to him by radiation. So, yes, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, I am getting to be happy with this guy.
Sometimes, like that shark would be great on TV hanging over the sharks on Shark Tank. Have you tried to make a pattern? Oh, sorry. Are you selling that pattern, or would you share it? I understand if not. This is Chance.
I don't have a good way to share my patterns, because they're not digital in that way. That is something that I'm actually working on. Me and Stan are working on that. So it may be, I may have a foam patterns added to my store. Do you guys see how the shark is coming along?
Where's he going now? To dry?
He's going to go in there to dry while I grab the other head and get him to this point. Actually, I won't get him to this point because I have to paint the other side of him. Because this shark is 360, so I got to paint his bum.
But radiation splits the atoms. Bradley Jim. Plastic Ninja said, but radiation also mutates cells, which is how Godzilla,
Which would make him a cooler
That's
Wolfman.
how Godzilla's made, so the Wolfman's healing could be affected.
I don't think so. I don't think it would be.
Stacy Birch, when you use the shop towels on masks, when you cut them into shapes, and you use the contact cement, can you use that same method to attach other latex parts to a mask?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You sure can.
Godzilla swallows Wolfman. Radiation enters the Wolfman. Wolfman grows to be enormous size and bursts out of Godzilla. Good. That's Michael Lanson.
Hashtag winning.
Actually, the Wolfman from Wolfman versus Godzilla was a normal werewolf that gets radiated, so maybe. Cowboy says, I don't think radiation affects Wolverine. He regenerates too.
Yeah, it's the same.
Dust Bunny says, make Godzilla skin boots, size 309.
867. Size 309.
People are watching.
110 people are watching. That's cool. Hi, everybody. I'm Alan. I'm Eight Monsters.
What are you making right
Oh, I want to make a little bit of a fishbone, like a back, like a couple vertebrae. Alexa, count down 6 minutes. I'm going to make a few vertebrae hanging out the back of this shark.
now? Chad Smith. The Wolfman would go for Godzilla's head. His arms aren't long enough to knock him off. Wolfman would take out his eye and go for the throat.
Yeah. Wolfman would damage Godzilla's tear duct. And so before he was done, Godzilla would just be crying all the time. Always hurts me inside to see a grown Godzilla cry.
Godzilla can't cry. I love that there's always kind of a monster death match happening in the comments, says Stacy.
Well, that's, it happens. It happens.
Is the Wolfman an American? Says Ezekiel. Stacy Birch, is there a kind of shop towel you use?
Yes. Okay. So, it's a blue shop towel. Let me pull one over. One of these blue shop towels, these I buy at Home Depot, but you can get them almost anywhere, and they're all the same material. The material they're made out of is pressed cellulose. One layer of blue shop towel in a mask gives the same rating as an N95 mask. And that is not just me making stuff up. That is the guy who invented the material that's in the N95 mask is also pressed cellulose. And so this material is, it's not in high demand right now, but it's very useful. A double layer actually gives better than an N95 rating.
You get them in Costco, don't you?
Yeah, Costco's got them. And there are several videos on how to make your own mask out of the blue shop towels, which are very effective. They look a little in the ghetto, but they work.
Wolfman could always try his luck against Mecha Godzilla. Wolfman would put Godzilla on his wall. Bone-filled Godzilla head?
That's right. Boy, can you imagine the size that would have to be?
The discussion of who could kill who in the world of monsters is a ridiculous and ludicrous argument, and a complete waste of time. Besides, Quisp and his ray gun would take down all takers.
Who?
Quisp and his ray gun would take down all of his takers.
All right, now.
Oh, I use the same shot towel for the carnival. Josh.
I'm kind of skinning, but I'm not like fully skinned yet. But my timer hasn't gone off either.
Can you move your camera a little closer? So they can see what you're doing, is small. So let me get this right. USA Wolfman versus Japan Godzilla in a battle of supremacy.
I never said the nationality of the werewolf. And you may have a fondness for the marsupial werewolves from Howling 3, but I do not. So I don't mind the Wolfman being American, but he does not have to be American. And if there was a country that I think best represents the Wolfman, my brain says France, because France had witch and werewolf trials and killed 70,000 people for being werewolves. So they apparently had a werewolf problem. And the other country I would say is Canada, because they have just an awesome wolf population, and their countryside is really good for the wolvos. I've got to look at it. Now, a fish spine hanging out of a shark. Yes, they have a cartilage. Their skeleton is made of cartilage. But I want to see what it looks like. I'm just going to make this smaller. Oh, shark spines are incredibly boring. Thresher shark spine.
Speaking of monster fights, have you seen the movie where the classic monsters fight each other? Monster Brawl?
I have seen Monster Brawl. I did see that. Alexa, stop.
Every wolfman has died at the hands of
The hands of who?
Humans.
Not all of them, but many, yes. Godzilla has also died at the hands of humans. Was that Plastic Ninja?
No.
I feel I have to defend myself
It was
here.
not. An American werewolf in London. He was an American. How tough could an English werewolf be?
It would just be more polite. I think he'd be just as tough. He would just be way more courteous.
Thank you for the info. So, when is the vote for the next sculpt? I missed the last one. I vote Beastman from He-Man.
It'll be Wednesday. I will give you 3 choices on Wednesday night. And then I will sculpt the one that well, I'll appoint someone to figure it out. And then what you guys pick, I'll pick one of those 3. You may see some returning things. I can't guarantee you. It's just Beastman's going to be on the list. It all depends.
Aussies won the wars for the British, says people. Plus Ninja, and Godzilla never dies. But, lost to the emus. Oh my goodness, you guys. If there is any weakness in the Wolfman, it's that he's only so strong. Can't cut, like say, what is it, adamantium?
Adamantium.
Adamantium size. Physically, Godzilla's body must be so hard and dense that Wolfman would not likely penetrate deep.
I bet it could get into an eyeball. Wolfman's not proud, okay? He could get catapulted up towards Godzilla's cloaca and work his way in. I'm pretty sure that could happen. Like what Godzilla eats, it has to pass through that opening. And if you look at Godzilla's teeth, he has the same kind of teeth as a marine iguana or maybe a Komodo dragon. And they're kind of peg-like. They're not as good for really chewing up food well. So I bet Godzilla has a huge cloaca that you could drive a pickup into, and the Wolfman could get in there and just do some damage.
Laughing my ass off. Wolfman's not proud. Classic Ninja. I'm just saying, we have video evidence of how the fight will go. Jimmy Carroll, what time on Wednesday?
Let's shoot for 7 p.m. How did you work Wednesday? Good. Okay, so now I have this bag of mush that is really good at doing the worm. Because the wetness on the outside made it skin. On the inside, there's not enough moisture yet for it to skin. Honey, what are you laughing at?
Images of Wolfman's legs submerged in Godzilla's cloaca. Nightmare fuel.
Godzilla's not happy about it either.
I bet a Canadian werewolf would apologize the entire time.
Oh yes, it's terrible story.
We are definitely monster nerds. Yes, you are. Can you see what you're doing? Connie, if I don't get home until 7:30, I want to vote.
Well, we'll probably go live at 7. The voting is going to happen, and this is going to be enough of a spine for now. This is just a little nurgle hanging out of the back end of the shirt. And I should add that later and paint it now because it's gonna, you know what, I can actually add it this way. Pardon me, Mr. Shark Spine, it's gonna hurt you more than it hurts me. Okay, now I have a little sticky stick, but I can stab in to the shark. A little bit more foam around here, and I'll have this nice shark spine coming out.
Michelle, you missed another debate between Alan and Plastic Ninja on monster supremacy. That's what you missed. I just got done dremeling the seam lines of 4 latex masks. Any tips on getting latex out of my beard? That's a big issue for me at the moment.
I do actually have tips for that, believe it or not. Take a shower and just shampoo the beard and brush it out like a good 80s hairbrush with the little plastic ball tips on the ends. Those are the best.
Big Dog says pressure washer. Chad Smith, honestly, I would like to qualify as a monster nerd, but I need to know more. I only know about universal ones. Knows the glow.
I know a lot of, I like monsters, you know. I do like monsters.
Cobweb says beard tragedies, damn silicone.
Let me grab a thing to put this
Are
on.
we voting on the winner of Wolfman and Godzilla?
No, not for vote. That is not up for vote.
You guys are the worst.
That is an ageless debate. That'll happen.
Oh my God, you guys.
All right. Clean the white off of this because I want to do the gray first. I'm going to darken this mask up a little bit. I'm going to put a touch of black in this gray. Not a lot, but a little.
Ezekiel was the one who asked about voting on the winning. He yelled no, and Chad said, wow, Ezekiel, you pushed a button.
I'm going to vote on Wolfman wins. Like that's the end of the story.
I used to get latex out of my eyebrows with a spritz of Aquanet hairspray.
Okay.
Big Dog says, it's okay, Wolfman will win. Shame you guys aren't passionate.
You know, I also think like it's got to be hard for Godzilla to fight like one thing. You know, like one human-sized thing. There's, you know, it's like us trying to fight one ant.
Wasn't there a Nazi werewolf scenario too?
There's been a few.
I vote for the underdog. Oh.
Are you saying the underdog is Wolfman, or are you
I
saying
just
the
retracted
underdog?
it. He just killed it.
Oh, he pulled that comment?
Are you done with the mask?
I'm not done with the bear mask. Bear mask is sitting here. I haven't even sculpted anymore on it. I'm working on orders and the general shop things I'm working on. I will probably get back to the bear, I'm hoping tomorrow night. But I have to have a certain amount of stuff done for my shop work before I go back to it.
Alan, in your experience with Magic Sculpt, shelf life, what's the shelf life?
Well over a year. I mean, I've had it for 2 years, and it holds up really well.
They can't really see each other.
They can.
That's good.
My wife is your champion, guys. She's like, they can't see what you're doing. You're doing that wrong. I do like that, you know, some of the black shows through, but they look a little battle worn.
There's too many variables. We don't know what time of day it is or how far away they are from each other. We need more parameters. God. Ezekiel says, I think Rob Zombie DI some werewolves from the Nazis too. 112 people are watching.
Hello, 112 people,
Thank you.
and thank you for watching and for hanging out with us. Currently, I'm painting sharks. I have a shark in the other room, and I got this shark. I'm probably ready for the white on him. Comes all the way up into here. I got to get all the gray off my brush. It's actually harder when I get new stuff, new tabletops, because I'm so used to they're smooth and it doesn't take anything off of the brush. It's like trying to clean paint off with a plastic bag.
I know you've always wanted to do what you do, but at what point in your career did you realize this is going to work out? I can live off this work and make a living from it.
It never occurred to me that it wouldn't work out. I mean, yeah, the thought never crossed my mind that I might not be able to do this. I might have to do something else for a little while, but this is what I do. So it never crossed my mind that it wouldn't work out. This is the work that I do. Okay. White.
One of the Tarantino grindhouse fake trailers was Nazi werewolves.
There's been a few. There's been a few werewolf Nazi movies. Even some werewolf Nazis showed up in one of the dreams in American Werewolf in London, if I recall. I thought that would help. It just got in my way. I had hopes. Now I know how wrong I was.
Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez had the better film in my opinion. So now it's the German, the French, and the American versus the Japanese. It's getting obvious who will win since the sequel. The Halloween house, or that Halloween house. Amazing positive attitude goes a long way. Some say that you also shouldn't have a plan B. That doing so is setting yourself up to fail.
Well, here's the kicker. This work is also Plan B. There was a lot of time where I did other jobs in order to learn how to do this one better. I was a electrician's helper to learn how to wire things up because I knew as a haunted house person I was going to have to, wire up effects. I helped carpenters because I knew I had to build things. It's all of that side work was for this goal of being a haunter, monster maker guy. And now life is, such a way that no matter what you do in the daytime, you are able to study and work towards your goal in the evening via the internet. One of my favorite quotes, Ezekiel actually posted, I stole it from him. I think it was 9 to 5 pays the bills, 6 to midnight builds the empire.
I wish I could borrow some of your positivity. I get so frustrated and down on myself about my SFX sculpting functions. You need to come to Monster Camp, Chad.
Yeah, it all depends on what you're getting down about. I mean, just stop it.
Good night, Rodney Poe. He's gonna go sculpt.
Hooray!
You are so lucky. If I were you, to get your work done, been my choice. You amaze me. I don't have a decent place to do my things.
Well, adapt the things that you want to do to the place that you're in. Get out of your head that latex masks are it. That's not the end-all, be-all of special effects. If you're working in your kitchen, go smaller. Go smaller. There's no reason why you can't work on stop-motion puppets in a kitchen. It's actually pretty clean. Get the mechanics right. Learn servos. That's something that's not going to mess everything up. but you're still learning and going towards that goal. So by the time you do get around to sculpting and making other things, you can make them move, you can animate them. Get it out of your head that you have to be making latex masks. Doing the work of special effects, so many things. Lots of special effects artists in Orlando, they end up making the big billboards, Cinnabar was a big shop in Orlando that I spent some time at. And, you know, we made fiberglass Jaws heads for the Universal Studios billboards. But, you know, it could be anything. You're still doing effects work. You're still learning about special effects. You're still doing the work, even if sometimes the work isn't sexy. One of my friends, he works for Legacy Studios quite a bit. That's Stan Winston Studios. I mean, and when he gets home, he's a fabricator. When he gets home, he wants to make masks. So he makes masks in his spare time because the special effects work that he's doing for money isn't exactly the special effects work that he really wants to do or necessarily gets fulfilled by. But he's 100% doing the work. He's 100% a professional special effects artist, and he is still making monsters in his garage that he wants to make. I had to touch my spine a little more.
I want to come to Monster Camp next time. Alan Hirsch.
Come on!
Right there with you, Alan Hirsch. I work in my living room. My wife hates it. If Wolfman can call in his pack, then Godzilla calls in Mothra for air support. Now, if motorcycle werewolves, but I've never seen werewolf pilots.
Never seen werewolf what?
Pilots. Plastic Ninja says, it is difficult to work on stuff without a dedicated space.
It depends on the stuff. It depends on the stuff. If you have a computer, dedicated space. Get ZBrush. Learn ZBrush. Do your sculpting in ZBrush. Right now, Rick Baker is teaching himself ZBrush. You're digitally sculpting. If you wanted to, you could then send that to a 3D printer. They print it out, and the monster that you made, no different than this, would come to you in physical form. Change your head. There's no reason why you can't make monsters. Maybe you can't make them exactly like this, but of course you can. ZBrush is an amazing tool. I'm doing this. I wish I, had more time to learn ZBrush. One of the things I want to teach myself down the road. Because that's where monsters are getting made now. They're really not sculpting maquettes too much anymore. They get a ZBrush model done, and then that goes to the artist, and the artist makes what was on the ZBrush model. Let's go have him go in the other room to dry.
Line Cook Floor says, I work on props outside. That Halloween house. A wise man once said, do not try. There is no failure, only learning. Chad Smith says, I shouldn't chunk things across the room. Why? Because he has no shop.
You what?
He doesn't have a shop.
Oh. Just make monsters differently.
Do you miss Orlando?
No. You know what I miss? I miss kayaking, and I miss swamps. I miss swamps. I miss that landscape. But as far as missing Orlando, the city, no, not really.
I like my dedicated space. It's half my bedroom and half my living room. It's totally possible to get stuff done. Just involves making choices about how you use your space. That's Stacy.
Yeah, and you have to. Even in this giant shop that I have to do resets. I can't just go from one thing to the next to the next to the next because I'll set the whole shop up for EVA foam masks, and then I'll spend a week and a half making those. Take all that away, put it all away, and then I'll set it up for, in our height, we got to set up, half the shop for sewing because there's so many big projects happening.
Hello, Richard McGrath from England. Richard, that's England. You're in England, right? I think you're in England. Good morning.
He says good morning, probably
Good morning.
English.
ZBrush is the gold standard and costs money. Sculptrits and Blender are bronze, but free programs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's when I just meant that platform. You can sculpt digitally when you can't sculpt physically. And when I'm looking for reference material, I look at the ZBrush stuff. Half the stuff I pulled for the bear was ZBrush models. More than useful stuff.
Stacy says, I rely heavily on Tony for the reset. I'm terrific at making a creative mess, less great at cleaning it up.
Okay, so I'm going to mix up some real light pinks here. You know what? I'll mix up a base pink.
Wow. Richard says he's in England. It's 3:22 a.m. on Thursday. Wow. Richard, are you up early because you're going to work, or are you up early to be up early with us? It's very early. I mean, it's not too early for me, but for most people it is too early.
Oh, this is a sexy pink I just made. It's the slightest hint of rose. That is shark mouth pink if I ever saw it.
Ezekiel says, I heard this the other day. I got a smile thinking of your closing comments. If you're going to make stuff, don't make excuses.
No, I didn't put it like that. But yeah, of course.
Alan, inspiration. Your upbeat, positive attitude makes me want to go make stuff too.
Do it. I cannot recommend making things enough.
Richard McGrath, I get up to watch you guys make great stuff. You get up at 3 in the morning to watch us. That's amazing. Big dog, I use my garage to make all my props and masks. Then I push it all to the side. Everything is on wheels. Great man said to put it on wheels.
I love all my tables being on wheels, I ain't gonna lie. And every time I go to a trade show and I'm wheeling in my booth, because it's all shelves on wheels, and we put all the stuff on the shelves, we pallet wrap, so many people are going, oh, because, they're having to carry in cases and that kind of stuff.
When will Transworld be deciding on what courses we will teach at MHC? Has that already been determined?
No, it hasn't. And I'm just giving them some slack on it because, how this year has gone. I think my guess is they're looking at the climate of the world to see if MHC is going to happen. Even a later July date, it's much more likely because Chicago's in rough shape. And they have moved the show to downtown Chicago. And Chicago is not in great shape. Chicago is not doing as well as Texas is doing. There's another show that same weekend near here, and I think their odds of opening are just much higher. Because Texas is not as good about that. Our governor says, your grandparents are okay sacrificing themselves for the economy. I can't believe he said that.
Selfishly, I hope this is Stacy. Selfishly, I hope they move MHC to a later date. I want that pizza. Stacy, we talked about that, and I don't know if you know, but last year for Alan's birthday, I had Chicago deep dish pizza shipped overnight.
No one should have known because I didn't want to tell them.
And we have said that if this doesn't happen, if we have to, we're just going to order like several Chicago pieces and have them shipped over, frozen overnight. We're just gonna have ourselves a big pizza party by the pool. It's gonna be awesome. I got you, Stacy. We'll figure out something. We will figure out something. Shark would look amazing under the black light if wildfire white fluorescent paint was used.
Yeah, I mean, if you want them to glow in the black light, that is a good way to do it.
Here in Michigan, we are on lockdown till May 15th.
I think ours runs out officially, what, May 20th?
They did push it back, I'd have to say. They did so many times. It would be an issue. Our governor is, never mind, MHC may be an issue, that's Chad's. We'll see.
Okay, what I am doing is I'm just mixing up I have some magenta ink in here, and I'm going to thin it and run thinned magenta ink over this. I need to get my alcohol bottle. Boy, I have been using the heck out of alcohol lately. Okay.
The shark is looking awesome.
Thanks. I'm happy with him.
Stacy, we'll figure out something. But I will say this. That pizza was pretty delicious, like butthole. It's pretty awesome birthday. People involved.
Hello, 115 people. So for the record, anybody who might be watching new, I never clean my airbrush. I just don't do it. But I can always get to it, and within 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, get my airbrush working fine. So why spend 20 minutes cleaning it if I can spend, 5 or 10 getting it to work without having to clean it?
Hello, Body Geeks. We're working on new shirts.
Yeah, your shark is involved. That is what I wanted to see. Now I have a nice consistent pink line. Pretty happy with that. There we go, we're flowing and going. All right, we're good.
It was Larry, and he is getting a grave digger. But he is getting a flesh tone grave digger and not a black and white grave. here in Texas is mediocre unless you go to a place that specifically makes a New York or Chicago style pizza. Because when we went up north and had pizza, it was like a revelation. So much better than the chain pizza we were brought up with. We thought it was awesome. It wasn't awesome, but Chicago, up in New England, New York, we had wonderful pizza there. Way better than what we get here. So it was good. Good night, Big Dog.
My friend John Adams would say that pizza is like sex. He's willing to pay for it.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, Hard Beauty, he's getting himself a mask. It's already on the books. Yeah, Ezekiel, it's pizza is, I think you can make delicious pizza at home, but part of the pleasure, I think, of pizza is that the choice when it comes to you. But yeah, it's not our thing here, but we have more. It's amazing. Really, really good.
Okay, and this will whiten back up when I do the white on the teeth.
I asked myself, was the pizza that good, or was the company and the convention and the people and the fun that good, and it just all melds together and say it was just that good? Hey,
Here's pizza.
this pizza's good.
Here's the pizza. Because I see these pizza people here, and yeah, definitely it's the pizza.
It was so much fun that night, so yeah.
Garbage people.
The cake with the magenta looks like strawberry ice cream. Stacey, you're hungry today. I love watching your work and your wonderful wife talking to us. It's a real team you both are. Thank you, Alan. This keeps him free to work that brain. And it's fun. Hi, Alan. Are you doing any blood on the shark?
I'm going to ask Cobwebs and see if I'm doing any blood on his shark. And we could also ask Brian to see if we're doing blood on his shark.
We have the chain stores up where I live. Down south, they have good pizza. I'm from the south, so we make our own. But if I have to buy from the store, it's usually pretty disappointing. So,
Yeah. Oh, Ezekiel said that.
I'll need to plan my trip so I can go buy bitty mold supply as well. Clay and latex is expensive to ship, says Brian.
So, just so you guys know what I'm doing right now, I was trying to figure out if the shark's teeth are whiter than his skin, or if they're less white than his skin. And you can't, it's really hard to compare values. So, I marked on this piece of, happens to be foam, where my 3 points were. I did the teeth, which are in shadow. I did this white that's in shadow of his skin, and then it goes to the white up here that's in full sun. And if I look at it, now I'm looking through those holes. This one's lined up on the tooth, the other one's lined up on the shadow, and that one is lined up on the sun. And I think I could probably use this tool down here opposite. Okay. And they're pretty much the same value of white. The difference being the sun. So I've got to bring these teeth that I kind of pankified a little bit with overspray.
Cobwebs and candlesticks wants blood dripping off of his maw.
Okay.
Brian,
I got you.
it's all natural for him.
Okay. This is Brian, so this is what you gonna get.
Is Benny old by you guys?
It's not too far from us, no. It's about, from here it's about an hour away, but from work it's 15 minutes.
Time to get a shower and get all this latex dust out of my hair and beard. I'm not looking forward to picking out all these latex clumps. This is why I always dreaded removal work. That's a nightmare to do this.
Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm painting in the teeth. Going ahead and bringing them back to the white they ought to be. You can't help but get a little bit of overspray on the teeth when you're painting inside of the mouth. And I always paint the teeth last anyway. And the reason they were white is because I just let them get dry brush when I was doing the skin. I paint from the furthest back normally to the closest.
Put one, put three eyes, were like doll's eyes. That's such a good quote.
Yeah, because then I got to go back. I'm not going to do that right now because I want to run the black through the airbrush. So I will do that when I get both of these sharks to this point. Because the eyes are the last thing, and a little bit of shading, but not a lot. I want to shade around the gills. I'll do a little bit of shading under here. Pretty much this guy's going to be a dry brush job. But I'm happy with it. Okay. I think the whole shark should be pretty glossy, right?
You gloss the eyes.
I'm going to gloss everything. It's a shark.
Will you be glossing the entire mask?
Yes.
Buddy says he's happy with it. Richard McGrath says, most of my clothes are covered in latex. My wife won't let me put them in the washing machine.
Once it's dry, it's
Shark should be wet.
yes. 9 out of 10 sharks agree. The other shark is dead. Okay. I'm going to throw this on because I have to for my sanity and the sake of fun. It's the shark mask. Oh, goodness. Hey.
It's good. How's that feel?
No, I'm swimming by like a shark.
You are.
Can you guys see my eyes? Because right now I can see the screen. I'm looking through the teeth. If I do this, you can see my eyes. So like this, I can see you and you can't see me. I want to growl, but that's not noise. Shark noises. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Feel good?
Yeah, it feels good. I'm pretty happy with the shark mask. I ain't gonna lie. All right, so let's put him back over here. You all right, love?
Yeah. I'm putting in tracking numbers. Paint job is excellent. Should have the Jobs music going. No, you can't see your eyes. It's now I want to make a street shark costume.
It's happening. Me and Mike Square were talking about that the other day. Okay, put him away. Let him sit over here. I gotta hit his eyes and do black airbrush, remember? Before I can do that, I gotta pank up the other shark.
That's why sharks and spiders are terrifying. They make no noise. I have a funny story about the sound a shark makes. Cobwebs and candlesticks. No, that's Chad Smith.
Yeah, that's a nice little bit of
I really want to
spinach
do
happening.
a vampire shark costume, but I'm holding out for that hammerhead.
Got it. Hammerhead.
It would look good with the haze and laser effects diving in and out of the fog. Body Geek says he needs to go hoodie shopping now. My wife read my oldest a book when she was very young about animals. Each page was a new animal. My wife would ask what sound it makes. One page was a dinosaur, and my wife says roar. Next page was a shark, and she asked Kylie what sound it made. She didn't know, so my wife goes roar, and I lost it. Remember shark? What does a shark say?
I left you far away. So far away.
How far is it over to Biddy from you? This is
About an hour. It's about an hour away. Okay, sharks are fun.
Is that official?
It's official. I'm going to paint the whole stump area at once together.
How far from McKinney? How
From-
far from McKinney to Biddy or McKinney from us?
McKinney to Biddy, I would say, is 30, 40 minutes, depending upon which part of McKinney. To us, you're looking about an hour and 20 minutes, maybe. Maybe hour and 30, depending upon what part of McKinney.
So you're both 3 hours from me, Body Beast. Just about, yes. Chad Smith. His heart still cracks him up. It, you know, what kind of sound does a shark make? That's not a shark. That's that thing in World of Warcraft.
Murloc.
Okay.
I think that's a fine noise for a shark to make. I watched the movie Shark Man. Yesterday. Horror movie. Terrible. Yet wonderful. Not terrible special effects. There was a lot of CG Shark Man happening, but there was also a suit, which I appreciated. Boy, it's so hard to get in here and paint these teeth. It's amazing that I was able to sculpt them. It's just hard to get in here. Okay, we have hit him with, likewise, we now have a pointy tooth shark.
Did you see either the Ghost Shark movie where the ghost kills on the slip and slide, or the Exorcist Shark movie that was shot in a guy's backyard?
No, I haven't seen those.
Did you ever come up
I've
with...
seen their advertisements, but I restrained myself.
That's surprised. Did you ever come up with a price on the bear? You got cut off before I heard. I think you did.
I haven't yet, because I have to see what it takes to finish him. So let me see what it takes to finish him, and then I'll know how much it costs. When it's in this raw clay form, you know, I think one formula works, but technically this guy's just a half mask, but he's so much harder to pour up, and he uses so much more latex than a normal half mask that he has to cost more. So let me get the bear done, and when I physically made one, I'll know a price.
Alan, were you an athlete? What sports did you play or participate in high school?
I was kind of an athlete. I wasn't a great athlete, but I did football, wrestling, and lacrosse. I did good at wrestling. I enjoyed wrestling. And I enjoyed lacrosse. I played crease defense in lacrosse. And football, I was defensive end for a while and left tackle. Oh, honey, I need you to tell a story.
Oh, gosh.
While I go get a pipe. I need to get a pipe to put in this shark and make it happen. Come on over here.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
While that happens, you guys can ponder about what sharks think when they dream.
Okay. This is going to go down in the category of stories Alan would prefer I didn't tell you. Because he puts me in a spot when he does this. But this is a story he probably would not want me to tell you because it's going to ruin his image of being a tough guy. which is, nobody believes that anyway, so it's perfectly fine. But in our old house, in January, one day, we heard scratching behind what sounded like it was in the chimney. We got in there, looked at the chimney all around, could not find out where it was coming from, till finally we figured out it was behind the chimney. And we could hear it fluttering. Of course, now we know it's a bird. So we thought, well, hopefully he'll be able to get out. It's a chimney, he can figure it out. Well, a day and a half later, that bird is still fluttering, can't find his way out, which we found out later that he was actually in the crawl space behind the chimney, but you didn't know that at the time. And we had just hoped he would find his way out. He didn't. Cold front's coming. We're going to need the fireplace. So do we incinerate the bird? No, can't do that. Do we rescue the bird? Of course we're going to rescue the bird, but how do we do this? So Alan had to go outside the house and remove the entire wood panel, the entire side wood panel of the house of the chimney. And in order to get into the crawl space behind the chimney to rescue the bird. So he took off the back. Don't give me that look. You shouldn't have left me. He gets behind the crawl space, reaches in. The bird is a starling, which, if you know a starling, this is not a rare bird. It's just a starling, but still could not let it, suffocate, could not let it die, and couldn't starve to death or couldn't incinerate it. The starling is too weak to fly. So he gets the starling in his hands, takes it into the house and starts to feed it some water to get a little life into it. And we let it recover for a couple of hours, and then he flew off, which was lovely. We were very excited. Now the process begins of putting the panel and repairing the chimney so we can use it, and also we're not compromising the integrity of our house. This process took an entire day and cost over $1,000 to repair putting that panel back on and the chimney working properly. So we call him the $1,000 starling, which probably went crapped on our car. But all of that, it took an entire weekend to save the bird, revive the bird, set the bird free, fix our house, and then we're $1,000 in the hole because he's got
Stupid bird.
This is how soft his heart is. So he doesn't want me to tell you that he has a soft heart. But the truth is that he does.
Do not. Okay. Proper safety equipment, all that stuff.
Okay. You got your okay. Cobweb says flat back, no pipe.
What? Flat? No pipe?
Cobweb, he's trying to tell us. He's saying no pipe.
I thought you wanted a pipe, the same as the last one.
Okay, I'm going to read this for you.
I just cut you a pipe.
Listen.
I'm listening, woman.
It says no pipe, flat back. No pipe, flat back. He says he's going on a plaque.
Oh.
No.
I thought he was going on a spear.
No, it says he wants it a flat back, Alan. It's too late. No pipe. No pipe. Wow.
It's not too late.
Time out. He wants no pipe. No pipe. No pipe. It's like a slow-mo car crash. No pipe.
This pipe, fine.
He says, I've already made the plaque. All right, I caught him.
That's right. You did put it on a plaque. I remember now.
Everybody, all of these people, everyone is desperately trying to stop you. No. Oh my gosh, you guys are funny.
Okay, I'm just gonna put this away, I guess.
Yeah, put that away. Put your saw away.
Okay, so since I'm not putting a pipe on this, and I don't have to make a spine for the back of it, I thought it was gonna and I don't have to paint the back. So now I am on black, I guess. Cobwebs, are you happy with your shark? Don't sweat his eyes, yo.
Go put your pipe away. Says, man, that was close. Everybody was freaking out.
Dun, 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 dun,
Cobweb
dun,
says
dun.
black is good.
Yeah, just that's the back. There you go. You're ready. You're ready for
Oh my
mounting.
gosh. That was funny.
Nice, that works out. All right, so yeah.
Says, I love my Quint. I love him too.
Now it's time. Now it's time for a breakdown. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. I shouldn't have done that. If Zach Weichman were watching, he would have screenshotted that whole thing. He has a habit of just screenshotting me at the worst and most inappropriate times.
It's terrible.
So it's black time. That's it. I mean, we're doing black shading on sharks.
Goodness. Cobweb says, I have to go pee. Too much nervous energy. Oh my god.
Okay, well, come on over here. I gotta clean the airbrush. I gotta change colors in the airbrush. Not clean it per se, but change colors.
Heaven emoji. I'm not gonna lie. I was back here with popcorn like the Michael Jackson Thriller.
Now here's the advantage. Whenever you go, if you save your black for last, then you don't really have to clean your airbrush that much because black is such a strong color, it'll beat up any other color left in the airbrush. But when I was going to paint, I really had to clean it out. I did pour my leftover ink back into a container because I had a lot of it because I thinned it with alcohol.
Stacy says, that may be the most intense group effort in comments ever. Oh, Friday night at Stilby's Live rocks. Quint, the thing about a shark, it's got lifeless eyes, black eyes. It is such a great quote. I love it.
I am getting there. I'm getting to his lifeless
I'm
eyes.
laughing so hard I'm crying. Oh my gosh, you guys, that was funny.
There was a night when I was working on something and I had just finished this mold, and in the background, I'm doing something here and they see it fall off the
It
table
was
in the background.
terrible.
And several people typed out, I screamed out loud when that fell. Scared the hell out of my wife.
Oh my god, it was terrible. It was slow motion. I was watching too. I don't know where I was.
Now I have a pink sculpting buff. I don't know why I did this. I just wanted to get the color out of it. Okay, let's go to black. You can paint over pink,
Oh, that's fun.
but once you go black, you can just cover it with white if you wish.
No $10 Harbor Freight airbrush? Treasonous.
Well, I have one. It's right over there, but I want the crispness of the pache for this. I always have a Harbor Freight airbrush on, and I'm going to apply the clear coat with the Harbor Freight airbrush.
Stacy See, that one you have to read this comment thread afterwards. It was nuts. That was hilarious.
I had shark pictures up, and Shannon was looking at cat videos.
You take that back right now. You take that back.
What were you doing that you didn't see the comments?
I was putting tracking numbers in on the orders that went out yesterday.
Gotta stay on top of the comments.
Oh,
Brian.
I see. It was me. You are in so much trouble.
Sometimes I sleep in the shop.
You sure do. I'm glad it's cozy in here. Oh. You should send the pipe and the package as a memento.
Okay. Now, I don't know what
Yeah,
kind
I was
of
telling the story. Thank you, Stacey.
I don't know what kind of ink I have on my hands, so I'm going to put on gloves before I pick up the shark to do all this painting. I don't want to rub any color onto the shark. She got there. Yeah, so for real though, yeah, I wouldn't even mind. I would mind sleeping in the shop, but luckily it's never come to that. Okay. Ooh, look, a beverage. I love this thing. So this shark can dry a little more while I grab the other shark.
Lord help.
I really thought it got a pipe.
You know what? You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming to my defense. She says, on the bright side, you can totally save the story for later because we weren't paying attention. That's true. That was a wasted story. I'm going to tell that again. Put that back in the archives. How many times have you fallen asleep sculpting or working?
I haven't. I've always made it over to the house.
Something about a bird. Because you got 2 dog beds there. Because I remember Shannon talking. I didn't hear a word she said. Life is in slow motion. It's all these things. Alan Ross, Shannon engrossed the storytelling of the people watching. I shivered in anticipation. Ugh.
Just a hint of shading there. Reintroduce some shadow between the lip and the gums.
Where do you recommend getting the wiper motors?
Fright props. They are not necessarily the best price, but they're within like $6 or $7 of the best price, unless you go into a junkyard and get them out of junk cars. But with getting them from Fright Props, they're all the same kind, and they're all laid out the same. And I really like that because I use a lot of them, and we have mounting plates and things that we make, and that way we can swap the motors out if we need to or whatever. This eye did not get the same shading that I did. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Cheney. It's okay, buddy.
No, it's Boris.
Boris. It's okay, bud. You're having a bad dream. Just having a bad dream. It was a nightmare about a shark. I blame your mother.
Happening, Mojo. You are hilarious.
What do you say?
This is an O'Shannon story had to do with something in the chimney and thought Phoebe Cates' dad from Brooklyn. Oh, that is funny. Okay. I do pretty much put everything on the sphere, but Quint is going on driftwood plaque I made out of pallets.
Cool.
The black Sharpie for the eyes didn't get the effect you were after?
It was just a precursor layer. I just did it a little bit because I had a Sharpie in my hand that I wanted to. And Sharpies are alcohol based, so it'll jive well with the ink I just put on. Maybe I'll put a shark on a pipe for myself and save that piece of pipe I cut. Okay, shark is kind of sexy.
I agree, Hard Beauty. It says cobwebs and candlesticks. You better do a walk with it. I'm loving the aquatic theme. The shark, the swamp witch, and the old man. It sounds like it can speak. I agree. This is beautiful.
This is the most dangerous thing that I do. I'm doing right now. This color cup is full of ink, and I'm holding it over top of my sculpture, or over top of the finished piece while I'm painting it. That is a terrible idea. A little bit of shadow on it, a little bit of drama.
You could make a flicker candle out of the pipe. I can't go to Whataburger anymore without thinking about Sculpting Studios. Richard McGrath. I've got some tattoo ink I don't use. Do you think I could mix it with latex for masks?
No. I don't think it's water soluble. I don't know. I don't know what tattoo ink is made out of. I'm sorry.
My witch is up by the house. It'll probably move this year for my demon summoning theme. That's cobwebs and oh, goodness. Still laughing. When I get to Texas, I will have to try Whataburger.
It's shark.
Evil. I cannot wait to get him home. Tattoo ink may be made from titanium oxide, lead, chromium, nickel, iron oxidizes, ash, carbon black, and other ingredients. Some of the pigments are industrial grade and used as automobile paint.
Sounds like somebody Googled something.
Scott Colart. Shut up and ask him.
Yeah, but I don't know if the base of it is alcohol based or that would hurt like hell. I don't know. I'm not a tattooer. I don't even have a tattoo. Let's prepare some gloss. It's gloss time, suckers.
Some of them have a tattoo, they hurt.
No, you get stabbed over and over again. Honey, can I sit that chair for a second? Just a second.
Oh my goodness, that's
No, that's all I needed. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to go and crack my back. And we have a chair that is perfect here in the shop. I had to boot my wife out of it so I could sit in it and lean backwards because my back cracks every time like that.
So Pops needs a Wolfman tattoo.
Draw one on with a shark. Be awesome. Harbor freight, do 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 do. Harbor freight, do 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 do. Only had glasses for like 2 days and I lost my glasses.
Did you put them back in the door?
No, that would have made sense. Anybody see where I put down my glasses?
Did you take them with you when you went to go get the pipe and the stuff?
I don't know. Oh, I found them.
Next to the bear. And here's what sucks about glasses. Okay. We give Jeeves the night off.
Okay, good. I did give Jeeves a night off. Gave him the whole day off, or else he would have mowed the lawn.
You look smart, like a professor type dude, says Locke.
It's a myth. It's a myth.
If you ask St. Anthony, and I just asked St. Anthony, and you found your glasses. That's very sweet, Alan Hurst.
Why, thank you.
So what do I still have left in production? Body Geeks, you have your shark, which we're wrapping up tonight. You have 2 head busts, your half head bust and your full head bust that still need to be made, unless we have some. Do we have any? You're gonna make fresh ones.
I was going to make him a freshman.
Okay.
When are you coming up?
Your head busts, Body Geeks, are what is remaining in your order at the moment. Do you need to get a librarian strap for those glasses?
Maybe. The nice beaded chain, like old ladies wear.
Oh, we got a thumbs down.
Well, at least they're consistent. I like to think it's the same person who goes out of their way to give me a thumbs down all the time.
I hate this guy.
I hate this
I hate these.
Okay, high gloss varnish in the old Harbor Freight airbrush. We're gonna do 2 thin coats, maybe 3 thin coats.
Before you tell me to, when you tell me to, but I've got to get to Biddy as well before y'all. So, maybe I'm deciding to, whenever the head busts are done, I guess.
Okay. I'll try and get them knocked out shortly.
Hello, Art Lady Blunter.
Hello!
What weight class were you in wrestling? I was in the 170-pound class.
Okay, so here's what's funny, all right? I went to high school in Maryland. In Maryland, like, that's their big sport. Like, Texas has football, Maryland is wrestling. So the guy that was in my weight class, I walked around at about 170. So I should have been in the 163 weight class. I walked around about 170. And, which, boy, that was 100 pounds ago. But the guy in my weight class was just better than me. Like, he was coach's son, like, amazing. The next weight class up, I could beat, but he was still pretty good. So I actually wrestled heavyweight at about 170 because that's just the way it worked. I mean, the guys on our team who could, I think we always put three weight classes in on every meet. 3 people in each class we had to have, and it just worked out where I wrestled heavyweight, so I enjoyed it. It's kind of where my fondness for Godzilla movies came from, because sometimes it was like they were so big but slower than me. It was like a Godzilla movie. Heavyweight, Maryland, Harford County. Okay. That one has 1 coat of gloss. See the difference? See the gloss. Dun, 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 dun. I want to do 2 coats of gloss on each one. Any comments there, wife?
Lots of hellos and back and forth to everybody. Shark can be my COVID mask when I go to Kentucky to work, says one. Ezekiel says, wrestling is such a weird sport.
It is. It's a weird sport. What I'm going to do on this guy is get the gloss on, and then I'll do your blood. Because he wanted a bloody mouth, right?
Yes. But Brian does not.
Right. Here we have one moist shark waiting for you. Shark, moist. Definitely no pipe. Got it.
Okay.
The problem with high gloss, you can never tell when it's dry.
Alan, do you know of anyone that does this near Buffalo, New York? I go back in the summer.
No. I could ask. I probably do. But I don't know where everybody's from. You know, that's the hard part.
What kind of gloss were you using?
This time, I'm using Liquitex Clear Gloss Varnish. Glue goes a long way. It's kind of pricey. Make sure you shake it before you use it, because it will settle on you.
Because Alan Hirsch is asking, says that would be great.
Yeah, I will try my hardest to remember. I'll ask Latex Mask Central. I'm sure there's folks there who do it. There's some good haunts in that area. That's where Tim's show is, honey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good show.
Waiting on gloss to dry. But it's pretty thin, so it should dry fast. And I got a fan on it.
Laughing, I've seen more people dressed up in costume masks at the store more and more. I wore my Viking mask last time. Way more fun that way.
Yeah.
It's really nice and shiny. He needs a scuba tank in his mouth.
A la the end of Jaws 3.
No, Jaws 1.
Jaws.
Original.
Oh, yeah. But there was another one, too, where they used the scuba tank.
When you paint with sponges, you use it all the time.
On occasion, I do. It depends on the look I'm trying to get. Sponges are pretty thick. When I'm applying thicker coats of paint, I use sponges.
Liquid clear gloss varnish. Time to look up some SDS sheets, DIY recipes.
By Liquitex.
Now do you thin the liquid gloss down before you clean your airbrush?
I do not. I think Ed Edmonds does. I do not.
When I was in junior high, I wrestled Dan Daigle.
Oh, you probably lost.
I've gone to the haunted catacombs in Cheektowaga, New York. Is that his? It's Tim's? No, haunted catacombs.
Yeah.
That's Tim.
Yep.
Have you ever thought about making a zombie shark?
Yes. And I may do a zombie version of of this shark.
What haunts are on your bucket list to visit?
Let's see. Erebus in Michigan. I haven't been there while they were open. I want to get the Woods of Terror while they're open. Boy. All of them. I want to collect the whole set. I'm trimming a grave digger mask while they dry. And then I'll get back to them.
They won't clog up the airbrush?
What's that? No, not really. The airbrush that I use is the Harbor Freight airbrush, and that sucker is bulletproof. Like, I literally run contact cement through it, and that doesn't cause a problem. I mean, it does eventually because the contact cement eats the container, but then I throw it away because that whole airbrush is $10, and you get 5 bottles with it.
Do you make all of your masks, or do you have helpers during the day?
Right now, it's pretty much just me. I'm having Rob come in like one day every 2 weeks to get him some side money. And then when he's in, I'm normally just not in here. But he's not making masks now. Right now, I'm on a big push to clean the shop and change things around. So that is my push, and so he's, sorting and organizing and When I have Mike Square come and help, he's building shelves on the back porch. It's a weird time, but I'm trying to use this time to better my business and get ready for a few fruitful times.
How do you deal with haunt reviewers at dark hour?
I don't. Everybody is a haunt reviewer. A haunt reviewer pays. If they come out to review the show, I have them pay because the guests are. Between Yelp, Google reviews, Facebook reviews, the age of the haunt reviewer is kind of over. Like the age of the movie reviewer is over. Everybody's opinion can be just as known to you. And do you want the opinion of someone you know on social media, or the opinion of someone who reviews haunt? It's tough, man. Maybe they're more. Maybe they have a more refined palate as far as haunts go, but who knows? So the last thing I do now is I don't sweat reviewers. Dark Hour has a 4.7 review on Facebook out of 5, which is the highest of any haunt in the area, considering how many reviews we have, because we have thousands of reviews. There might be another haunt that has 40 reviews, and they might have a 4.7, but sometimes maybe it's actors who are reviewing their show. I gave Dark Hour a 5-star review. Why wouldn't I? I kind of like it.
Erebus was very cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really good shows out there that I want to get to.
Haunt Beauty says, Erebus is good and you'll have to let us know if you come to town.
I will.
The flange you're cutting with blood would look nice between shark's teeth.
Oh, this bit of strippy skin.
Would you explain that is flash, and so when you see a blank, or when you receive a blank from us, that's going to have flash on it?
Oh yeah, so what this had on it, that we call that flash, that is excess latex. It's not part of the mask, but it's on there. So we sell a lot of blanks. This is a Gravedigger mask that I have trimmed. We sell not trimmed blanks. So let me pull a non-trimmed blank. Monday is Gravedigger Day for Mr. Hops. This is a non-trimmed blank. The eyes are still in it. The nose holes are still in it. The mouth is still in it. The ear holes are uncut. There's the edge, pretty much the edge of the mask. I cut that to make it clean. And then this is just extra from where I poured it out or whatever. And some masks have more flash than others. Some have little air bubbles and hickeys on them, and you got to cut those off or fill them in. But a flash is very much a raw product. I mean, a blank is a raw product.
Come back.
What's that?
Are you just going to trim him?
Yeah, I'm gonna trim this guy now. I'm gonna go touch a shark. I'll be right back. White,
Oh,
talk to
no.
about something fun.
No. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to keep my eye on the screen. I don't think I'll ever take my eye off the screen. First, a few people. We got a puppy update. We are all asleep. Sleeping puppies, which means they're recharging, which means we're doomed later. And you're back.
And I'm back. Do.
Okay. When you're trimming out the eyes, are you worried about them being perfect, perfectly lined up?
Okay. When I sculpt the mask, I carve in the line that I'm going to cut on the eyes. And I tell people that all the time when they're making their own masks. Because what you just said, if you don't carve that line in, you're going to cut both your eyes. You're going to look at it and say, oh, that eye hole is bigger. I'll cut the other one. And then you might cut it a little too big and say, oh, well, I'll cut this one again to make them even. And the next thing you know, you got eye holes that are this big in your mask because you're trying to even it up. When you sculpt it, carve a little line in there to tell you where to cut it. I do that on all of my masks. Okay, Sharko here, Megalodam gets another coating.
Okay. Good night to Jerry Collins.
Good night, Jerry Collins.
Where did you get your scissors from?
I don't know. These are discontinued scissors from Harbor Freight. I now use the leather shears from Tandy Leather that are $4. But these guys, I think these guys came from Home Depot in like a 4-pack for Christmas.
I've killed 2 Harbor Freight airbrushes. I've managed to kill every airbrush I've used. That's why I don't use airbrush anymore.
Well, they're not that expensive, so go ahead and kill the hell out of them.
Anyone else think that the Jeepers Creepers was a reworked Wishmaster?
No, I don't. That's a very different sculpt. The jowls are different. Some of the body elements are similar. But as far as the head goes, that's a different animal altogether.
Your Harbor Freight airbrush is your siphon airbrush, correct?
Yes, it's the black one I just showed you. Here, let me pull over and grab that airbrush. This is the Change Harbor Freight airbrush. I loves it. I can run just about anything through it, and I can change colors that fast. Whereas the other airbrush, you saw me change colors. It takes about 2 minutes.
What YouTube videos do you watch as far as skills?
See, I actually watch a lot of things that I don't do. I watch blacksmithing videos. I watch a lot of tool restoration videos. I don't do that stuff right now very much. The sculptor named David Lemon, I watch his stuff, but he does a lot of figures, like small Native American figures and things. Of course, I watch Tested with Adam Savage. There's tool tips and things on that all the time. But there's still not a lot of content for what I do.
I give Dark Hour a 5-star rating as well. It's always entertaining and an amazing show.
Thank you.
Ezekiel says, I come from Australia. If I took notice of all the reviews, I wouldn't go to anything. People reviewing stuff are more negative. Richard McGrath, I watched some Dark Hour trailers on YouTube. I give you 10 out of 10. It looks great fun.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, our show is engineered to be fun.
Stacey Hawkins, y'all should totally watch the behind-the-scenes series Effects to Go is doing for Darkness. Happened in Mojo. Whoops.
Yeah, I wish Jake were here plugging his YouTube channel. That'd be great. But Effects to Go, you can look them up.
Sell that mask as a Shark Week binge watch accessory. He's like,
Oh, you know what? I actually meant to show you something on the shark with the shark masks. Um, but it's perfect if you wear like a baseball hat with the shark mask. It helps the mask hold its shape. I mean, and it fits right inside the top of the mask beautifully. Two coats of gloss. Ah, ah, ah. Okay, so it dries pretty quick. And I'll show you the shark mask with the hat because I thought it was really cool.
Are you going to sing the Baby Shark song as we finish the match?
No, I will not. I refuse.
So how far back is my order on the need to make this? I hope I get to see you make it live. That's Larry asking about his birthday. You've gotta.
Your grave digger will probably happen not this week, but the week after. So I think I'll wrap up all my other grave diggers this week, and then
My grandson would love a shark mask. Just three.
3.
That's why. Should you take the hat off first?
I'll put the hat inside first. Before when I did that, it didn't have the straps on it. Good thing I'm so pretty.
Looks awesome. Looks great. You and the shark. That ball cap is perfect. That's good.
The ball cap isolates the top of the head so you can make the jaw move.
Gloss really makes it come to life. Cobweb says day. Awesome. Gotcha. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay.
Got some more questions. Every time I've used an airbrush, I typically get a day's use out of it. That's why I stopped using it.
It depends on what you're running through it. So I have developed a system in my shop to keep my airbrushes running. My system is 2 airbrushes. I don't have one airbrush that's going to do everything really well. But I use the 2 airbrushes, and the Harbor Freight is going to be better at some things, and the Pache H is better at other things. I don't like seeing the brim of the hat. It's weird to me. So I normally wear my hat back. I did catch myself the other day. I was wearing a hat. I had it on backwards. And I did this because of the sun, and I felt like an idiot. So I turned my hat around and let it do its job.
What blacksmithing forging channels do you watch?
Alex Steele, there's a couple. I'd have to look.
So when you're putting up videos, 2 and 4, so I can get really good at airbrushing like you.
Who said that?
I won't tell you.
Edie?
Yes.
What's
What's the time frame on a hairy suit, start to finish?
Oh, well,
He's our friend, not our smart friend.
yeah, you're a couple of weeks out. That's right, I'm your friend, I'm not your smart
It
friend.
also depends on,
Yeah, it all depends on which one, and
Yes.
do I need to put a latex chest in it? So it all depends.
I'm good, Rob. I'm way over here on the other side of the building, and we have 2 industrial scrubbers going.
We do. We have one going. That one's not on.
They're afraid you're gassing me out.
No. And this stuff, this stuff has almost no smell to it.
No.
It's not like contact cement.
I'm on the other side of the room.
Good shark.
Is he done?
He's done. He's got 3 coats of gloss on him. He is painted. He is strapped, and he will go to his new home. Now I go get cobwebs. This is the shark.
I've used 2 different Harbor Freight airbrushes and a Hobby Lobby airbrush. I'm considering giving it another shot with a different air compressor. You know, if we do an airbrush lab, that would really help.
Yeah, you know what? I do want to do an airbrush lab at some point in time. Okay, so one more coat of this. It is also almost 11 p.m. So I'm going to gloss this up and be done for the night.
Will that complete him? Will he be finished?
No, he gets blood on his mouth, correct?
Yes, that's cobwebs, then he gets blood on his maw.
So what's funny is I get to sculpt this again, but in a much bigger size. Because Dark Hour is we're building a shark for Dark Hour. And I'll get to make this, this is probably close to a foot wide. It'll be 4 feet wide. Yeah, this is about 11 inches across on the back.
Can you come fill a large size?
Sure. But guys, we made sharks today. Look at what we did. Look at what we did. This shark is so happy to go to someone's house, he's crying. Look at that moist tear, shark tears. I don't even know how much sharks sound like.
What are you
Yeah,
doing?
I don't know. I'm listening to shark secrets right now. Telling me shark secrets. I don't know. It's late, like I said. I don't have much on. Turn things off. We go in there and turn some things off. Be right back. Unplug air compressor line.
They can hear the puppies dreaming. Yes, puppies are dreaming.
Those were wake up yawns you heard.
Yeah, that's Cheney waking up, so they are starting to.
Jimmy Carroll, thank you. We also got this shark done. Wife, you got stuff on your shipping table. You got to get to work now.
You've got more stuff to make than I've got to ship.
Well, technically, everything I make, you have to ship. So
That's true.
as soon as I'm done,
Unless they're picking it up.
my goal is to bury you with stuff.
Tomorrow, the full gravedigger costume goes to his new home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight while we got to make not monsters, just misunderstood predators from the ocean. But let's just say they're monsters. We got to make 2 cool monsters. We got to get them painted. That was a lot of fun. And hopefully tomorrow night I can work on the bear some more and get that sculpture finished up.
Good workshop.
I have gravedigger hats and things to make in the daytime, but I don't want to bore you guys with repetitive stuff. So yeah, anyway, thanks for hanging out and working with us and playing with us. And the dogs say goodnight. See? Wife, say goodnight.
Good night.
Go make stuff.
They're like, is it time?